Yo, what's up? My name's Retro Pat, and last episode we upgraded a ton of our characters, gained an insane amount of stats in Dungeon Defenders, and learned the insane value in the strength of lightning towers on the mage. These things are insane. Their range is ridiculous. Their power is ridiculous. Their only real balancing factor is that if something has a resistance to electric, they just can't do any damage to them. So that's really the only thing that really keeps them in check. Other than that, they're ridiculous. They're monster houses of power and electricity. So today we're going to continue on doing foundries and forges on nightmare difficulty, hardcore mode, plus it's on mixed mode. So it's as difficult as survival can get. I have a lifelong challenge of completing every single Dungeon Defenders map up to wave 25 or whatever the max wave is, completing every single map on survival. It's my favorite game mode and one of my favorite games of all time. Dungeon Defenders being one of the most underrated games of all time in my personal opinion. I'm going to run around. I'm going to get upgrades on whatever I can. I do actually need upgrades on the archers so that if something is electric immune or resistant, I can still kill it in some way. So I'm going to get upgrades on and then start wave 10. Wave 10, every 5 waves or so, I believe, there is a massive power like scaling difference. Things get way harder every like 5 to 10 waves. So this should be a lot difficult than the previous 10 waves. If you haven't seen the previous 10 waves, they were in the last episode, so make sure to always check that out. There's also a playlist linked below every single Dungeon Defenders video that contains every single Dungeon Defenders video in this series, basically picking this game back up from scratch and then playing it all the way to endgame eventually, which hopefully I'll reach one day at some point. But right now we're in that sort of mid-game area, I would guesstimate. I'm going to grab all this beautiful mana down here. So many of the minions just get killed walking out of these doors with these lightning towers. I'll show you guys that. If you forgot or haven't seen it, I'll show you guys that a little bit better here in a split sec. Let me just pump some upgrades on these archers and a spider. Why not? I'm going to press Control G. I do have some other heroes on the map back here, leveling up my Hermit, my Series EV, and my Barbarian. Let's head over and watch the carnage down here. Oh, I jumped too far. That's okay. You can see those minions got killed by the lightning tower. They're not even... That guy's immune. They're not even close. Look at this ogre. Immune. These guys, look at this. This ogre, 3 million something HP. They're just all being chained together. Look how far it reaches, killing these other ogres just coming out. It hits everything in its vicinity at once. Insane levels of power and consistent damage. How is that allowed? All right, collecting as much mana as I can. I actually can die pretty easily. My mage has pretty frail amounts of HP, only maxing out at 44k, so I should be a little more careful about that, but you know what? We're risking it for the biscuit. Why not? I should check the wiki or see. I'm really curious if you can have the possibility of getting transcendent drops in the later waves of this map. I feel like you might be able to, just based on the fact of how many mythicals I'm getting. If you can see on that left side, the blue number over there, there are 105 pieces of mythical gear on the ground. Like every single minion is dropping mythical. Generally with that high amounts of mythical, it does indicate a small chance of transcendent, but maybe it's just too early game of a map. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. I think that just based off that, it'll happen, but that's wave 10. Taken care of. I still have to pump upgrades into a bunch of stuff that needs it, but we're doing pretty solid here. I'm not going to jump immediately into wave 11. I do want to get as many upgrades off as possible, which takes a lot of mana, which there is a lot of on the ground. So I don't want this to disappear heading into the next wave little too greedily. I have to get a full inventory of mana per one upgrade I do at the moment. And with this upgrade here, this is going to turn everything into 1-star or above. I don't think there's anything, with like little green check marks. It's all 1-star or 3-star at the moment. So doing pretty solid stuff. Let's jump into the next wave. I'll just give you guys a nice little overview. Thankfully, there is no electric bill to be paid in Dungeon Defenders. Otherwise, I would be in a lot of financial trouble. Over 100 mythical... Okay, well, I died. I was trying to show off how many mythical pieces were on the ground, and I died from my arrogance. Honestly, understandable. Dungeon Defenders, have a nice day. But who cares about dying in Dungeon Defenders when it doesn't even affect whether you win or lose? There we go. Wave 11 completed without a hitch. I kind of just want to... Ooh, part of me really wants to just click Control G here and just spam into the next wave. Like, I'm really having no problems, but I don't know. I'm so frail. My Adept is so frail that it actually is really, really hard for me to, like, go out and collect mana during the wave. So this is probably the best time for me to go ahead and do it safely. Grab all the mana that I need and then go get... I do want to get everything 3-star. It just feels nice. I don't even know if it's, like, that required to, like, do maps, but getting everything 3-star... just feels really satisfying. I think it's one of those things in Dungeon Defenders that you do for the fun of it rather than the effect, to be honest. But healing stuff, to be fair, with people like the auras, this really affects them. I feel like healing stuff when it is 3-starred feels so much faster, like so much faster than doing it if it was 1-starred. I feel like that's the biggest buff that I noticed just from like the feel of it. But okay, 133 pieces of mythical on the ground. We're going to consume them all. Let's see how much mana we get. Bottom right-hand corner, 20 million. Nothing crazy, but that per round is pretty darn nice. Like 10 of that would be sick. All right, there's wave 12 complete. And with 146 pieces of mythical gear on the ground, we're going to consume them all and start the next wave over to wave 13, giving me 31 million mana over to my bank. Whenever I've been spending a bunch of mana, it always just feels so incredible to get a ton of it back by actually playing the game and grinding a bit. It's just that beautiful, like, game, like, just typical flow of Dungeon Defenders, you know, go earn a ton of mana, spend a ton of mana to where it makes you a little stressed out, to then go be able to do more maps, get more power, and then gain even more mana, and then loop it, and we all know it, but it's just, I don't know, it's a satisfying thing to see really, really clearly physically play out here. All right, and with this upgrade, I think this is everything at 3-star. Oh, wait, just kidding. I missed out on one thing. Excuse the misinformation. Typical Retro Pat. Here we are. I've got my 1-star orange guy over here. Let me grab just enough mana really quick by just sprinting around the map. You guys can see what everything looks like. I don't always show like each individual nook and cranny of a combat wave just because it's all kind of the same at some point, but it's still cool to see. It's hectic mania. So there we go. That is everything 3-starred, which is pretty neat to see. Also, we're about 5 minions away from being complete of wave 13. I'm going to be honest, things are getting a lot, I wouldn't say sketchy, but like they're showing possibilities of cracks or ways that things could creep through. It wouldn't surprise me that if wave 15 I run into a problem. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but I think I might want to actually be on my summoner on wave 15 to be able to pop off some flash heals, if you catch my drift. But it will be cool to reach wave 15. Wave 15 is a pretty big checkpoint. I think getting wave 15 on all survival maps is another pretty big, I don't know if it's a milestone. There might be an achievement for it, to be totally honest, but let me go pop this chest. Perfect. All right, jump into wave 14 here. Really excited to see you guys at 15. I'll see you guys there ASAP. All right, here it is. Just a few more minions defeated, and I'll be at the big ol' wave 15. Huge checkpoint, as well as being a difficulty increase. Here we go. You have gained 3.7 million or so mana as well while doing this. No player damage. I actually stayed out of harm's way there. Toasty added to the item box. Let's go check them out. Let's see if we can... There we go. We got a couple. We got Frizzle. We got Robot. He's just named Robot, really. We got Foundry, and we got Toasty. There's Toasty, the man in question. You know, they're not all that good. They're not actually what we're looking for, but they're pretty neat, so we'll take it. I'm going to pop open each chest. I'm going to, once again, keep an eye out for that chance at Transcendent, because I feel like I could just check the wiki. There is information out there most likely, but I don't know. Look, there's so many mythicals, like 138 mythicals. Are you kidding? That's such a ridiculous amount that I feel like in the later waves we may see that possibility. But all right, there we go. 146 mythicals. I'm going to go ahead and I think just press Control G. Part of me kind of thinks I should. You know what? The problem is what I really should do is I should actually switch over to my summoner. It hurts me to do this, but I think it's the right play. I also haven't checked this in a while. Has anybody gotten level ups? No level ups from anybody. Let me switch over to where's my... Let Let me switch off my hermit. I know he needs a bit of XP, but I think he's the one who needs it the least. So I'm just going to go ahead and head over to my hermit, go over to my adept. I do want the XP on my adept, so we'll grab that, bring him back here, and then switch back to my summoner, and there we go. This should be the plan, I think. So I think I want my summoner because I want to be able to pop those flash heals, like press like that. Like I think it's so important in these sort of waves to be able to have access to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm ready. I've popped everything. I'm gonna go ahead and press Control G. Jump into wave 15. I don't know how difficult this will be, / how much of an increase of difficulty. 45 million mana coming in from that consumption of all of those mythical pieces of gear. I'm going to keep an eye out for transcendence as per usual. There's a gold kobold coming down that center area. It was taken out by a lightning tower before I even saw it in that middle section there. I just saw it on the map. Look at the ninja jumping all over the place. Lightning towers are dominating things. The lightning field's dominating. Most minions aren't even able to get into the aura stack itself. It's too powerful. I will see you guys at wave 20 at this point. Yeah, pretty much nothing exciting happened that wave, so I didn't even record any clips. I'm just going to go ahead and collect a little bit of mana. I guess go open the chest. I wasn't even going to initially do that, but sure. I'll go pop the chest, then we'll jump into wave 16. All right, there we go. 145 mythicals on the ground. Control G is going to consume them all. Mana added to the total mana pool in the bottom right-hand corner. 42 million. I've been phasing out like this so I can make sure that I don't take damage, so I can gain a little bit of extra XP between each wave. And I'll see you guys at the end of this one. I'm honestly just kind of chilling. I pop a flash heal every now and again, but honestly, I don't really need it. Pretty relaxing all the way to wave 20 for sure should be relaxing. Maybe all the way to wave 25, but let's not get too big for our britches. Wave 17 defeated, moving on to wave 18 here in a split sec. Honestly, just nothing exciting is happening, so not really recording any clips. Okay, I was about to say that there's nothing really exciting going on. There's 145 pieces of mythical on the ground. We're about to start wave 19, but then I realized this up here is actually an accessory. I don't know if this is mythical or no, it's the one piece of quote-unquote stocky on the ground. So I mean, that makes sense, but you know what, it's an accessory. We're still gonna go ahead and store it happily, so we'll take it. It's something a little interesting, at least compared to just more pieces of whatever mythical armor and weapons. So let me do a little flash heal there just in case. Heal back up, get full mana, and then I think we're good. Just go ahead and press Control G. I'm gonna phase back out. We're going to jump into the next wave, wave 19. Wave 20 will be a huge stepping stone here. All right, here comes the wave 20 barrier. I think this will be the final big barrier before possibly just completing all the way to wave 25. Dude, it would be the dream. There is a big achievement. It would be the dream to be able to beat every single campaign map. So it's Deeper Wells all the way through to Glitterhelm Caverns. There's an accessory piece down here I'm going to go ahead and store. All the way to and City of Cliffs is the other map. So it's Deeper Well, all the campaign maps, all the way to the bonus one, Glitterhelm Caverns, and then you also have to do City of Cliffs, City in Cliffs. I've never played that map, so it's kind of funny that if I never play that map and beat every other map's survival, Glitterhelm Caverns is going to be so ridiculously hard. Same with even, honestly, the ones prior. This is the easy part of the survival challenge, and we have a lot to go. This is only like, I think have I done Magus Quarters? Did I end up actually completing it? I'm not totally sure. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and heal up. Still no transcendence. Maybe you just don't get I feel like you might not I did actually, to be fair, I tried to actually look it up on the wiki and I couldn't really find anything. It's really hard to find information on the wiki. I think, I could be wrong, about like what maps drop transcendence and what waves and how rare, and like there's really not much data when it comes to drop tables regarding Dungeon Defenders on the wiki. There's some cool information there, but not really any drop table stuff. So this is wave 20. This, like, things might actually get hard, things might get pushed, but I kind of doubt it. But I could always get punished for that arrogance. Things I want to start pushing for, obviously, that actual survival challenge. So I'm sure things will start getting hard probably around that Ramparts type map, like Ramparts or what's this, Endless Spire? Is that what I'm thinking of? There's one that I'm thinking of, I can't remember. And then dude, the summit and Glitterhelm Caverns, I'm just not looking forward to. City on a Cliff might be the hardest, but I've literally never played the map, so I just have no idea. So I'm just gonna keep chugging along and pretend that that map is gonna be easy. Pop a flash heal here whenever needed. Wave 20 coming to a close here with nothing really super eventful happening, but that's good news. No news is good news. I'm going to phase back in over here, check all of the chests really quick, just for that off chance of that transcendence that I can keep dreaming about. It's so cool. I do really, really, really adore, I feel like it's not talked about. There's not many games that operate the way Dungeon Defenders works with like transcendence, and even there's rarer gear that I've never seen, right? It's so rare that you really appreciate when you see it, and you're always hoping to see it. And I feel like there's not that many games. Everything just eases their drop rates over time. It seems like developers are kind of afraid that people won't want to put time into their game if there is a grind to it, and that makes me sad as an MMO player. I see that obviously with like as a Pokemon fan with the newer Pokemon games. All the newer Pokemon games, they lower all the shiny rates. It's way easier. They want people to get all these shinies and have all these things and not really have to work as hard as it used to be. And it's a tough line, you know. Not everybody wants that in a game. Not every game needs to be a grind. I super get it. You know, it's not like, you know, one is just better, or one, you know, one size fits all. But I do think we're starting to see a lack of grindy games, and I like grindy games. So I think it's really, really beautiful to see something in Dungeon Defenders that really gives you that dopamine reward and the difficulty and the care and the effort and the energy and everything to do with how difficult transcendents are to get. I can't even imagine the rarer stuff that I haven't gotten to yet. That's probably even better. And it's gonna be like shiny hunting for me in old Pokemon, which that's really, really exciting to imagine. All right, and as these last couple ogres fall, that's going to be the end of wave 21. I want to see how much, if it's at 3 million there, these things are probably spawning in with like 9 to 10, maybe even 11 million HP now. So the HP numbers are cranking up. Let me phase back in. I can just do a little flash heal, phase in, pop a little flash heal in the center there, and then pick up whatever mana I can while I go ahead and go pop open those chests. As per usual, just at this point, copium. Like, if I'm not seeing Transcendence by wave 22, it's probably copium at this point. They probably don't exist on this map. I'm like, oh, you know, maybe this chest, like maybe it's just really, really rare. It's probably, I'm deep in the copium. I'm going to pop the last one and then just immediately control G into the next section. There we go. 144 mythicals on the ground. Control G, going to consume it all. Mana in the bottom right-hand corner as you're used to. 68 million. It does kind of go up. The mythical quality does slightly increase where it must. I'm going to phase back out, and I'll see you guys at wave 23. I have at least reached a point where I do have to like pretty actively flash heal, to the point where like this tower, I've seen it go down to like 33% HP or so. There's a lightning tower up in this front row. Yeah, this one. It's gone down a couple times to around 33% HP or so, maybe even like probably 33%. So I do have to keep an eye on that. I could mess that up and I could probably not lose because of that, but you know, if one tower goes down, it just feels like everything could go down so fast. That's just how Dungeon Defenders goes, especially in that later game, or I guess mid-late game territory. All right, but here is the last chest. No Transcendence, of course, not allowed on this map. I guess I'm ready to go ahead and just phase out and do the next few waves. I'll probably just see you guys, honestly, at the start of wave 25, maybe the end of wave 24, not just do the next wave. I don't need to show you guys the beginning of wave 24, but I do quickly want to say, thank you. The amount of views that I get on such a niche, minuscule series, and the amount of comments I get of people saying like they got back into Dungeon Defenders or started playing or were inspired to play because of me in this very, you know, minuscule YouTube series. Like, it's a few hundred views every video, but a few hundred views every video really is amazing and really adds up. And I really do want to say thank you guys. It's unbelievable that hopefully, I'm going to pick this up, by the way, hopefully a series like this can add a little bit of positivity to your day, a little bit of fun, a little bit of background entertainment, and it amazes me. It genuinely amazes me, hopefully, how many people I can reach and play games with, play games alongside, and revive a community that deserves a little more attention. Like, such a fantastic game Dungeon Defenders is, and I wish more people were as excited about it as a very small but loud amount of people are. A lot of people are really, really excited about Dungeon Defenders, and I think it really shows because of all you guys watching. So thank you so much. I really, really do, from the bottom of my heart, really, really deeply appreciate it. Wait a minute. I wasn't going to show you guys this wave, but the hopium, the copium, you actually can get transcendence on this map. That's really funny. It's not a good piece of transcendence. It's like especially bad. That was like a really, really bad piece of transcendence, to be totally honest. But hey, man, it's still transcendence. That's legitimately really cool. That's so funny to me that after like all the copium, the entire, not knowing whether or not it was actually possible, it actually was. It's kind of funny. You know what? Because of that, on like the very last wave, that's so funny. Let's go check each chest and let's just see if we can Nope, just one. 20. Let's see if we no, that's the final chest. So yeah, 25 waves, one piece of transcendence. Maybe that's just the average. I don't know, dude. Let me go ahead and pick up this mana. I'm gonna phase out. To be fair, we still have 2 more waves to go through, actually. So there will be one more set of chests. Excuse me. So I'll see you guys at the end of wave 24. Okay, there actually is another stray piece of transcendent. I'm gonna stay phased out for a quick sec here. It's over here somewhere. It's I'm so blind. It's right here. It's a plate body. What is it? Is it more leather? Gotcha. These are not that good pieces of transcendence, but it's still transcendence, and that's very cool to me. We're gonna pick it up. We're gonna run, phase back out as soon as possible. Clean snag, no HP loss, so we're still getting that that 33% XP boost at the very end. Need a big flash heal. You saw a lot of the stuff was damaged there. I do need to flash heal like a fair amount, honestly, on these waves. So cool, man. You know what? 2 pieces of transcendence just from kind of doing a thing that I would do for an achievement anyway. I'm excited to like get to those maps that really start to drop transcendence and like continue on these survival barrages. That'll be a blast. The main problem, and like I love survival, don't get me wrong. I almost could do a whole video to talk about this because it's such a weird crossroads that I'm at, to be totally honest. The main problem with my current Dungeon Defenders arc is that I want to do every single map wave 25 survival, and the problem is that takes like 3 hours, like per map. Like it is a long time to do, like from wave 1 all the way to wave 25. It's a long time. And I don't always have stretches of 3 hours of time where I can do that. And it's not quite easy to like do it in, I can't like log off and do it in sections. I have to really, well, I guess to be fair, I kind of can, honestly. I should start abusing that a little bit more, but it takes a lot more time. If you like, you can start off on waves, like, which is really nice on PC or whatever. Like if you like get to wave 20, you can go back and restart at wave 20, but you don't get the same amount of mana. You do take like a huge hit to your power level. You have to reset everything up. You won't have 3-star upgrades at that point. Like there is some give and some take. It's cool that you can do it at all. So maybe I'll have to just focus a little more on just getting wave 18 or something on certain maps and kind of take it from there instead of doing wave 25 straight. I have to adjust my strategy to some extent because having to designate 3 hours of time or so just to record I do split it up into multiple videos, but I still can't split up into multiple sections. It has to kind of go, you have to, I don't know, it feels like I have to do it in one shot. So I don't know if you guys have any side challenges, any recommendations for activities to do in game that don't take 3 hours are so appreciated. Like just maps you want to see me attempt, any sort of like challenges, etc. Anything that isn't a survival all the way to wave 25. I'm so open to suggestions for right now because I'm kind of bone dry on ideas. I'm sure I could find something like that. I know there's always new maps I could try that I've never tried before, but you get what I'm saying. I'm mostly kind of on the survival brain and the survival track right now, and it's hard to always find a way. It's hard to always record for Dungeon Defenders when that's the case. Anyways, thanks for listening to that little rant. Help me solve that problem. We got a few ogres left, and I'll see you guys at the final wave of Foundries and Forges. Wave 24 should be coming to a close here in just a sec, and I wanted to basically talk about what's so cool about Foundries and Forges to me is that when I think of playing local cooperative Dungeon Defenders with my friends growing up, I think of Foundries and Forges. Like this is the map that, for whatever reason, I feel like me and my friends spent a lot of time on. I feel like it wasn't too easy like Deeper Well was, but it had that mini boss of like the ogre at the end. You know what I'm talking about? Like the one ogre that spawns, and that's the first time you ever see the ogre in Dungeon Defenders, that new mob type that is so much more powerful than the rest. That was a big deal. So me and my friends, like, we just replayed this map a ton on local co-op. And we don't really see many local split screen co-op games nowadays. Understandably so. You know, it's a give and a take sort of situation, just a different generational thing. But man, you still miss it. You can't help but miss it, you know? So when I think of local co-op games in general, I think of Dungeon Defenders, and I specifically think of playing this map, and that's a really cool thing to me. So to think of that, and then to also be completing it this many years later on my favorite game mode, on a very difficult game mode in my opinion, I think is very cool. Let's jump into it. Wave 25, let's defeat, and complete Foundries and Forges. 70 million mana added to the bank just from all those items being consumed. We have a ton of XP being gained. 6 million on our mage, which is awesome. He's almost about to level up probably after this wave. Our barbarian did get a level up to level 78. And then we have our series EV, who is around 4 million XP from a level up. Incredible stuff. Awesome, awesome stuff. And as the final wave is kind of closing, there's another piece of Transcendent, another leather body. Honestly, at least it's a body piece. Those do seem to be a fair bit rare. And that one was honestly easily the best piece of Transcendent we've seen so far. So I will happily take that. Seems like around 15 or so ogres, 10 or so ogres left. I'll pop another flash shield. Why not? We're pushing through. It is just ogres. It's always funny. These last couple sections usually do just have like a barrage of essentially one of the strongest mobs, usually ogres. So we're going to watch all these guys flooded. I'm going to phase out over here. Pop a flash shield if I need to, but mostly kind of just watch them crawl to their demise. How much HP do these guys have? 12 million or so? 13 million HP. Look how fast they are. I love the speed until they reach the ensnare aura. They're just so fast. That's one of the funniest things about them in my opinion. These giant halting fast behemoths. One left. 6 million HP, 4 million between me and defeating Foundries and Forges. Completed, defeated, absolutely beated. Giraffe on a treadmill. 4 of them should have been popped over to my item box. Level victory. Another map done out of the whole, I guess, collection that I have to do eventually here. So that is super exciting. Thank you guys again for joining me on such a long journey. It is a lot to take on these survival challenges, and it means a lot to me that you guys would spend all of that time with me. Hopefully you're having fun today. Hopefully you're having a good time playing some games, enjoying yourself, relaxing at least a little bit. Like this video if you enjoyed it and want to see more. Just like it, dislike if not, and subscribe to the channel for videos every other day at the moment. I will always try to increase that pace if I have the extra time. Have a fantastic day. Keep playing Dungeon Defenders, and just salutes to everybody out there. You guys are incredible. I'm going to return to the tavern to make sure I get all that extra mana, because I started this episode with, what, 4.4 or something? I mean, I started with much more than I spent a bunch, but how much mana do I end up with? 8.4 billion we are leaving off with. Is that the most mana I've ever had? I don't know if I've ever had 10 billion. Well, yes, we have our next goal, fellas. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno.